This is Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Mem Beis, according to the art scroll pagination. Art scroll is other pagination, which corresponds to Kaf Ches Amud Beis in the Vilna pagination. We have to start from the bottom of Mem Aleph Amud Beis in order to be able to understand what's going on. So let's read the Mishnah over again. Zav shor carry v'nido shapot t'shich v'zera. A zav which is a tuma chamura, who saw carry, which is a tuma kala. Nida shapot t'shich v'zera. Nida tuma chamura. T'shich v'zera is she from the last time she had relations with her husband. She has the zera in her womb, and now it comes out. It's had them out to carry. So, so, a woman who had relations, who has to have go to mikvah because of relations, and now she became a nida, so that's the tumah chamura. Tzichem tefillah, they all require tefillah. Rabbi Yehuda poter, Rabbi Yehuda exempts them from tefillah. Now the Gemara here at the beginning is a very difficult Gemara, and the best interpretation I have of it is from the Rash Cirilio. So we're going to go with the Rash Cirilio on this Gemara. So the Gemara says that Akidun Zav Shura Keri, the Ma Moyalo. There's a very different gears in our Gemara. Right? This is the gears of the Rash Cirilio. Akidun Zav Shura Keri, the Ma Moyalo. 1 second here. Avobal Keri Shura Zov Lo, the Moyalo Imaya Tevel. Or Mishum Shein Shem Latuma Kala Etzel Tuma Chamura. Ishmina Me'adah. Shemesh Asanida, I'm going to pronounce it obviously afterwards. Mesh Asanida, Tzichat Tefillah, Rabbi Yehuda Poiter. My time, Rabbi Yehuda, in Temashum Ma Moel Shu Teva, Hacham Moel. Moelu. Have a less time or delay, and Mishum Shein Shem Latuma Kala, Ella Etzel Tuma Chamura. Now, the Rash Cirilio in the which has printed Vilna Shas has the ghost Meir Nativ. The Meir Nativ was put out by Marcus Lehman, famous for his historical fiction on many different topics. And he writes here, see how distorted the nusach and the posim. See how distorted the nusach is in the Svarim, which have been printed in the Svarim as it's been printed here in the version of the Yerushalmi. But Farshim chashvu cheshbonos rabbi. Farsha. The Farshim went to lots of cheshbonos to explain it. Lamida al nachon, and to explain it and to make it sustain the sugya properly. V'lo tzachal biyodam. They were not successful. Famitas nuschas hamarshas. The truth of the nusach of the Rav Cirilio, Upeyusho, and his Peyush near Leinaim is clear to its eyes. Being low oru einenu ela beinyan zed dayenu. Had we only had the Rav Cirilio for this Gemara, it would be enough. And the Rav Cirilio, of course, was one of the earliest chiburim on the Yerushalmi. Cirilio was from the Megureshe Sfard, so he was flourishing around 1492, and this parish is, of course, a wonderful parish, but not that needs my askama. So now let's go back to the Gemara, based on the Rav Cirilio, and translate it and go through it slowly. Akadun Zav Shura Keri. So the Rav Cirilio says, Ad kan lo shamanu elaki kodemas tumah chamura, the part of Rabbi Yehuda. Until now, we only saw that Rabbi Yehuda exempts you from going to the mikvah when the tumah chamura came first. So avokshe tuma kala karma, where the tuma kala comes first. Baal keri shura zov, such as the Baal keri who then became a zov afterwards. Come b'shtei rios or ben hashmashos has the way you become a zov in order to be tuma chamura. You have to have two rios. One rio of a zov is tantamount to keri. You have to have two rios. So you have two rios, either two separate rios, or b'shtei ben hashmashos, or two ben hashmashos, one rio, which is divided up by the days, it's de facto two rios. The tamei shiva misafek, tamei shiva misafek, even the ben hashmashos is a suffix one. In other words, if only saw the ben hashmashos, it's a suffix. If it's 2 days or 1 day, so misafek has to keep 7 days. V'hacha here, itava mekame ziva, moil haya. If he was teva before the ziva, it will be effective. The sakle mituma, where they were moved from the tuma, right? Hilka kansina lay. Do we find him or require him to go to the mikvah? Or I feel the name of the Pater Rabbi Yehuda. The timer, what would the reason be? Mishum, the ain't shame l'tuma kala, it's a tuma chamura. Okay, so let's again. Akdun zav shura carry. A zav shura carry, then Rabbi Yehuda paters you. The mamoelo. What effect does that have on him? About carry shura zav lo. About carry who saw zav. No, perhaps he does have to go to the mikvah. The moilu imayatayva, because had he gone to the mikvah before he became a zav, it would have been effective for him. So now we're going to fine him, and we're going to make him go to the mikvah, even though he's a zav, for the carry which he should have gone through beforehand. That's the question. Mishum. Now that's one side. Mishum shein shein l'tumah kala, it's a tumah chamura, which means that no matter what, it doesn't say it's not effective. Rabbi Yehuda is going to say you're putter no matter what. Nishmina minato. Let's learn out from Rabbi Yehuda's statement. Mishameshes to anida tzricha tefila. Rabbi Yehuda poiter. A woman who had relations and then she saw nida, she has to go to the mikvah. Rabbi Yehuda exempts him. My time, Rabbi Yehuda. What's the logic, Rabbi Yehuda? In temar mishum ma moil shu toivel. If you're going to say, well, what effect does it have if she toivels? Hachamoilu, it would have been effective. And having lace timer delay mishum she'ain tau shem l'tumah chamora. Well, the law actually I read it before wrong. The law like which in Yerushalmi means da ella. His reason is not can't be that, but rather it's mishum she'ain l'tumah kala it's l'tumah chamora. And the Rashi explains. Might have you the kapata b'seifa, right? That he exempts you in the seifa. Heavy b'shamisha suras anida. Heavy lace time of da elam ishum she'ain shem l'tumah kala it's a chamura. You have to say it's because he doesn't hold there's no shame for tumah kala it's a tumah chamura. Hakoch afilu tumah chamura ba'aslo l'basof kamar. Here you see that even tumah chamura came second. He says a woman who had relations who then became nida tumachamur l'basofu. Tumachamur comes to the end. The stomach tiny. It says very simply mishamesh shoras nida afterwards. But I feel rosa nida achrei d'hayel shus lipo. As we assume that it means even if she saw nida after she had time to have gone to the mikveh after she had tashmish. Pata banami Rabbi Yehuda. So and Rabbi Yehuda says that this is potter as well. Umi Mishnah is Seir Kodayik, and then from the Mishnah we learn out from the extra clause in the Mishnah which would not have been necessary. V'hachi yaskina b'gadilan, and that in fact puts the Yerushalmi in sync with the Bavli, which otherwise would not be the case. As I didn't read the rest of the Haggadah from Rabbi Liebman, but he says. The line before he says, according to the Girsa of the Sfarim, Kosuya he neged Gemara Dilan v'tricham farsha shvas shashalanu afinusos chamar shas pirsho amita sayishal Gemara sikna b'Gemara Dilan. According to the simple Girsa in which we have in front of us in the text of the Gemara, it does not go like the Bavli, but according to the Rashi, it has actually is precisely like the Yerushalmi, like the Bavli, and this brings us to the end of the Perek. So again, we're going with the Rashi Girsa here, because the Rashi Girsa seems to be far superior to everybody else's Girsa, and now we can start Hajjalach Mamisha Meso, and now we can begin Tfilas HaShachar. So let's go on to Tfilas HaShachar. I should say this is a general principle of mine with the Yerushalmi, which is we find the best pshat, the best girsa, the best pshat, and we go with that. And we're in so many places where we get bogged down because nobody has great pshat, but in this case, flat, smooth. Okay, let's go on. Tfilas Shachar Achatzos. Tfilas Shachar is until midnight. I'm sorry, till midday, till noon. If you don't add arba shos, it says until 4 hours in the day. Tfilas hamincha ad erev. Tfilas hamincha is until evening. If you don't add plaga mincha until plaga mincha, which is an hour and a quarter before shkia. Tfilas erev eila kva. The tefillah of Marav doesn't have a set time. V'shel musafin kol yom, and for the tefillah of musaf is the entire day. So in the Bavli, there's a girsa in the Mishnah that you don't add sheva shos, but in the if I recall correctly, it's in the Mishnah in the Bavli. It's not in the Mishnah in the Yerushalmi. Pretty sure. Pnei Moshe kind of slips it in. Says, "Shem Yom im ichra achar sheva shos." If you did it after 7 hours, but in the Mishnah itself, and then you have till the rest of the day. But the Mishnah itself doesn't appear. Okay. Charein says something about that. Yeah, he puts it in. Charein puts in the Mishnah outright. It says we know how Shiva shows. Okay? So Charein does put into the Mishnah explicitly. Okay. But in front of us, we have in front of us, it's not there. The Tfilas Shachar it says the Gemara. Tefillah is it says that he's supposed to. It says second parasha of Shema. You are supposed to love Hashem and serve Him with all your heart and all your soul. V'chi yesh avoda b'leiv. Is avoda shebelev? What do you mean? Avoda is in the Beis Hamikdash Kabbanos. So ezazu tefillah. So this is what is avoda shebelev? It's tefillah. This is of course a very famous quote. V'cheinu omer, this is so too. It says in Daniel, Eloh Elohach ant palach le b'tedira. This is I forget which king is talking to Daniel here. If it's Nebuchadnezzar or Dayavish or something like that. But anyway, they are they're saying to Daniel, the God to whom you pray frequently, constantly, who Shev Zinach. He should save you. Now I glassed over it. Plach means like means to work. Avoda. Even in Arabic today, the word falachin means farmers who work in the fields. So it says plach lebetir. You work for him constantly. So again, pulchan. If plach means to work, and pulchan means, and also modern Hebrew means the same thing, a religious ritual. So is there any with which here is refers to avodah Beis Hamikdash? Yesh pulchan bebavel, so avodah Beis Hamikdash in Bavel. Bezuzo tefillah. So no, it must be talking about tefillah. Is it possible that you could daven all three tefillahs at once? Which is very interesting. Havamina, which I don't believe we have in the Bavli, that perhaps you not all three tefillahs at once. Appears to Daniel. Daniel says no. Zimni tlas b'yomu barach al birchoi. 3 times a day he would go down on his knees. So it's interesting because we have, of course, in the Bavli, and we have Avram Tikkun, and we're going to have it later on, also in the Yerushalmi. The Avos Tikkun Tefillah and the Knei Karbanos. But here it seems that we're learning out yet another limud from Daniel, the concept of 3 tefillahs a day. Yochei Mispal Choshir, Yochir said, can you dive in any direction do you want? Tamlom Rechavim Psichen Le Balise Neged Yerushalayim. He had the windows open in the direction of Yerushalayim because he would dive in opposite the windows and he would dive in towards Yerushalayim. And we are already on Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. So we will stop here for today.